Over yesterday and all the keynotes today, we've heard plenty about ICs, CI/CD pipelines, complicated system architecture diagrams, and a lot of you are taking pictures of slides as well. But sit back and relax, because I think it's time we talked about managers, leaders. So you don't need to take pictures of my slides. My presentation is not very tech-heavy, so you can sit back and relax. Welcome to the last keynote of KubeCon India 2025. Hello, hi everyone. I'm Aparna Prabhu. I'm a senior engineering manager at DigitalOcean, where I lead teams building core cloud infrastructure, mainly platform and storage engineering. But before I'm any of that, I'm a mom. And like many of you, I find myself navigating AI not only at work, but also at home. My kids, they use ChatGPT, Claude, Notebook LM, Gemini, all the usual suspects. And to be honest, it does bother me many times. Are they becoming lazy to think? Are they taking shortcuts? These are some of the questions that haunt me. But I don't ban AI. I don't think that's the way to go. So instead, I set healthy boundaries. Use it to push your ideas, okay? But never copy-paste answers. And never outsource thinking. Now, this balance between speed and depth, between curiosity and caution, is not just a parenting challenge, it is also a leadership one, especially in this day and age where AI has impacted every aspect of our life. So just to give an idea of how big this is, how deep this is, let me take you back to about 10 years back, a little more than 10 years back, where there was the rise of the cloud native. Now, some of the older people here in the audience might be able to relate to the time where everything was on-prem. Basically, we did not have cloud native. So moving from on-prem to cloud native felt like stepping into the future. Now, suddenly we had CI/CD pipelines, being able to ship every day, or sometimes even more frequently than that, being able to scale infra within a few minutes, and being able to do all of this with just a few changes to your CLI, it really felt like we had been handed magic powers. Cloud native essentially rewrote the playbook. And today, we are at the edge of next such tectonic shift, AI. But AI is not just changing infra. AI is changing how teams operate at every level. And just like the cloud-native era, managers and leaders must evolve again. And they must evolve for the good of all. Why? How? That is what the rest of my presentation is all about. So I want to throw the spotlight on this study by Harvard Business School, which was conducted between 2022 and 2024, where they examined 170,000 developers. That is a massive sample set. About half of them used some sort of GenAI, mainly it was GitHub Copilot, and the other half did not. Now, what were the patterns that this study uncovered? Mainly, there were two patterns. Okay? The first is about seasoned ICs, people who have been in your team or in your organization for a considerable amount of time. The study found that by leveraging AI, specifically Gen AI, your IC's core work, that is writing code, went up by 5%. Whereas project management tasks like assigning work, tracking dependencies, grooming Jira tickets, status updates, things like that, went down by 10%. Now, I know that if you look at individuals or just teams, these don't sound like big numbers. But extrapolate this to big organizations, and the savings are massive, right? Now, before I go to the second pattern that this study uncovered, I have a question for you all. Think back about the time when you were new to the tech industry, when at your very first company. You had a lot of questions like, how should I name this function? Should I use camel case here? How was this code implemented before? Who wrote this piece of code? Things like this. And did you feel a little hesitant? And did you feel like you were bugging your senior ICs or your managers a little too much? Show of hands. Did you feel that? OK, I see quite a few hands going up. So, OK. Now, the second pattern that this study uncovered is that even the newcomers, people who are new to your team, not only to your team, but also to the tech industry on the whole, are able to leverage GenAI to become autonomous more and more quickly. So not only are the seasoned ICs becoming more and more autonomous, the newcomers are also becoming more and more autonomous, and they need less and less intervention from their managers. Essentially, GenAI is changing the relationship between ICs and managers. So I want to take a pause here, because I think I know what some of you might be thinking. If ICs are becoming more and more autonomous and are needing less and less intervention from their managers, does it mean that managers like me and some of you in the audience are losing their jobs to AI? Will we be replaced by a chatbot named Gary? Well, absolutely not. GenAI is basically Marie Kondoing our calendars. Heard of Marie Kondo, the Japanese tidying expert, cleanliness consultant, the world famous, she's from Japan. GenAI is freeing up our time so that we can go focus on things like spotting friction, spotting areas for momentum, for increasing momentum, spotting areas for automation, connecting the dots, things like these. Things that only humans can do, things which AI cannot do, things that really matter, things that are a better use of our time. Isn't that a welcome change? I think so. So that was about people, okay? And I'm going to stop talking about people. I'm going to start talking about products, because leadership is not just about people, it's also about products. Traditionally, product leaders have been asked the questions like, which tools should we build in-house? Which tools should we buy? Or which tools we can partner with? Maybe somebody is already building it. And conventionally, leaders have a very, let me build this in-house kind of an approach. But now, because of AI, there is a plethora of AI tools in the market. AI co-pilots. Some of these were discussed, particularly today in the keynotes that came before me. AI co-pilots, AI code generators, document generators, code reviewers, even incident responders, right? Because there is a plethora of AI tools in the market, chances are if you need something, it is already there, or somebody is building it, and is probably doing a much better job than what you can do if you try to build the same thing in-house. It's basically like trying to reinvent the wheel. So smart leaders today are not asking the question, can I build it in-house? Should I really build it in-house? That's really their last option. Okay, and they're trying to buy or they're trying to adapt something that's either already built or being built. So this fundamental mind shift from a builder to an adapter is one of the most crucial changes that is being driven by AI. So you may ask me, fine, this mind shift change is being driven by AI, but so what? Are we really seeing changes on the ground? Are we really seeing any efficiency improvements? Because at the end of the day, that is what matters, right? Otherwise, it's just smoke and mirrors. Well, again, I want to throw the light on another study by the International Journal of Computer Trends and Technology, where it was found that putting LLMs into incident workflows saw the mean time to resolve down by 43% within just 90 days. That is a massive change. That is huge improvement. And engineers being paged down by 20%. I'd really like to encourage all of you to go back and look up some of these studies. Reason being, these are not funded by some AI agency, or some other organization that has some sort of an ulterior motive to sell their own products. These are independent organizations, and these are the kind of patterns that they are uncovering. So smart decisions like these, they empower your teams, okay? They multiply leverage, and they free you and your team to go work on things that matter more And above all, they help increase customer trust more and more. I know we go to the theaters, watch Allu Arjun in Pushpa, but we are not Pushpa. So let's not try to be, okay? We don't have to get into every Slack message, every email, every onboarding, and think about how I can do this or how I can be involved in this. So what is my takeaway today for all the leaders and managers in the audience, and all the aspiring leaders and managers? Think about how you can avoid your engineers being paged at 2 a.m. Think about how that new college graduate can become up and above as soon as possible. Think about how you can reduce the number of status check emails, circling back emails, the quick syncs at 6 p.m., which are usually not quick and which should not happen at 6 p.m. Okay? Leading in the AI native world does not as intimidating as it is. I can guarantee you it does not necessarily mean that you have to be the smartest person in the room. It means being the most curious, being the most human, being the most adaptable. It means listening more, listening with empathy, and trusting that when people feel ownership, they show better. And just like the cloud native era, the managers and leaders who embrace this shift early, they are the ones who are going to be rewriting the next playbook. And I'm very sure some of those leaders are sitting right here in the audience today. Thank you.